Hi, everybody. Sarah here, the organic dietitian. So, recently on my Instagram, I talked all about metabolic health. I wanted to bring this topic up because um, I saw some pretty staggering, eye opening statistics the other day that it's estimated only about 12% of the American population is considered metabolically healthy. And that can come down to about 1 in 8 people. So it's really considered a bit of an epidemic. But unfortunately, so many people don't really understand or know exactly what metabolic health is. I know for a long, long time, I didn't really truly understand what exactly that meant. And typically, when we think of metabolic health, we think of metabolism. And a lot of us are striving to have a fast metabolism because we think that having a healthy weight is how we maintain our health. And metabolic health isn't just about being a normal weight, because there's plenty of people out there whose weight isn't an issue, but still are metabolically unhealthy. So it's defined that metabolic health is having ideal levels of blood sugar, triglycerides, high density lipoprotein or HDL cholesterol, good blood pressure, a healthy waist circumference, all without the use of medication. And we have to keep in mind that really we need to know what we're looking for on blood work, because if you've visited your doctor and had these labs tested and they tell you everything looks normal there, because conventionally speaking, labs have a really huge range, because when we go get our blood drawn, the lab is really taking the average of all of the labs they've had done, and they're testing a lot of people that are really not that healthy. So from a functional perspective, we typically look at things in a much tighter level. So just because you visited your doctor and they tell you all of these things are normal, we just, have to know more than that. Okay, so metabolism is basically every chemical process in your body necessary for the maintenance of life and normal function. So it's the biological theory of everything. So, really, everything in your body relies on healthy metabolism, energy production, building new tissues, breaking down old tissues to repair it, elimination of waste, growth, cellular reproduction, and really the ability to ward off disease. So it's really everything that your body does. So uh, when we're not metabolically healthy, we're considered to have metabolic syndrome. So it's a pretty serious thing. And when we think of only about 12% of the population is metabolically healthy, it's a problem, right? It can impact all functions of your body, right? Metabolic health is also important as it can optimize pretty much every function in your body, really helping you function like a well oiled machine. So, let's talk about some ways that can help improve your metabolic health. And again, this is not going to be all about diet, right? It's not diet and exercise. We have a lot of women that come to us and say, but I eat well and I exercise, but I still don't feel well, or I'm still struggling with my weight, or I still have thyroid problems. My hormones are out of whack, right? My digestion doesn't feel like it's in a good place. So, overall health goes beyond just what you're eating and what your movement is like, right? And ultimately, to fix it, we have to go beyond just doing labs and taking supplements or even changing our diet a little bit, right? So, in our practice, we work with all of our clients on all of these important areas of health, right? So, these areas are going to help not just improve your metabolic health, but your overall functioning of your body and how you feel. So, obviously, with blood sugars being a factor in metabolic health, we want to make sure that we're reducing sugar and processed food intake, especially the processed refined grains. Eating to reduce inflammation. And this is going to be different for everybody. We can't just Google an anti inflammatory diet and follow that and expect to become metabolically healthy. What might inflame you might be different than what might inflame me, Even healthy foods can be more inflammatory if there are deeper issues going on. So, eating to reduce inflammation is important, but there is no one size fits all approach. There is no one prescriptive diet. So, this is where we help guide our clients into determining where a starting point might be. And then as they work on experimenting with that, helping them make adjustments throughout. Working on balancing your blood sugars. I've done a YouTube video on this in the past. What does that look like? What numbers to look for? So make sure you go check out that video. But balancing your blood sugars, again, is going to be a little bit different for everybody. For me personally, I find my blood sugars thrive best on a little bit higher animal protein and animal fat diet. Getting adequate restful sleep and supporting a balanced circadian rhythm. All right, sleep is the mother of all antioxidants. Sleep is where we do a lot of repair. Sleep is extremely important. And ultimately, a circadian rhythm that's imbalanced isn't just about sleep. It's really also about your daytime light exposure and getting darkness exposure at night. I've written a whole blog post on circadian rhythm. I'll put it down here in the notes section for you to check out if you so choose to. Moving your body in a healthy way. So not being too sedentary, but also not being too active to the point to where you're potentially stressing your body out. Reduce your stress and learn to manage your stress, because we're never going to be able to eliminate stress 100%. And remember, stressors aren't just external things. They're not just being busy and having a lot on your plate. We can also have a lot of hidden internal stressors, dehydration, nutrient deficiencies, gut imbalances. The list goes on. There really can be hundreds of places stress can come from. So we need to reduce what we can, but then really learn how to manage what's left so that your body doesn't completely overact to just about everything. Emotional health is really important. Healing hidden traumas, and trauma work is really important for just about everybody. We really find that everyone is dealing with traumas, hidden past traumas, current traumas to some extent. Trauma doesn't have to be big events. We can also have a lot of little traumas as well. And nervous system support is really, really critical as well. If we're constantly in a state of fight or flight or freeze and not able to get in a rest and digest state, then a lot of systems in the body don't function well. Getting out in nature, enjoying the sunlight, walking in the grass, walking on the beach, getting the energy from the earth, very important. Practicing a growth mindset. Your mindset is everything. Mindset is a muscle. It's something that we do need to practice and work on every day. This does not mean you have to be positive 100% of the time, but I always say a body that you hate cannot heal, and a body that you don't love, you are not going to desire to put the time and effort and potentially financial resources into supporting it in the way that it needs. Avoiding toxins as much as possible. Toxins is a huge contributing factor to disease. And toxins could be things in your beauty products, in cleaning products, in your environment, but it could also be too much blue light exposure can be toxic. Toxic relationships, right? And a lot of times toxicities lead to deficiencies. And when your cells don't have the nutrients that they need to function, then we can also develop poor metabolic health. Okay, so those are just a few of the things that I believe are important aspects of overall health that can also help to support metabolic health. So hopefully that was helpful, and we'll see you next time.